Question. Is it true that the SAT could get harder in different months? I'm gonna look. Yes, it can get harder between which attempt you're taking it. One thing I'll tell you is the summer dates are only offered in the United States currently, and you are competing with the students who are taking the test. And then, within that, there are a lot of people who feel like they don't want to take the summer test. So, and personally, I feel like you have an advantage if you take the summer tests versus really, really popular test dates. Having said that, the difference is so small that I wouldn't think about that too much. I wouldn't pay attention to that. I would take it when I have time to prepare. Where did that go? I have time to prepare. I have enough time between my test attempts. I don't have AP exams and other things scheduled. I've been going on and on about taking a summer test, but maybe you have a big engagement this summer. Maybe your sister is getting married, or maybe you have a very intense internship or summer school and you can't do it, then don't do it. It really needs to be when you are best prepared. But yeah, there are rumors out there about certain attempts being easier, especially in the math section, depending on whether international students are taking it or not. But don't get bogged down by that. I'm confident you can get a very high score by knowing the concepts. Question, is there a point at which you can't improve your score anymore? I don't think there's a point where you can't improve your score, because you can get a full score. We know the questions that you're going to get. We know, you're just going to see different numbers and maybe different passages, but you really, if you have enough time to practice and you're using a good tool that has you practicing in an organized manner, such as TestRocker. If you're very self-organized, you could self-study. There's no reason that you shouldn't know this content. And this content is content you have seen at school as well. So you're learning it in school, and then you're learning how to do it faster through test prep. There's no reason you need to stop. But there are practical reasons. We talked about, more than 3 test attempts is too many. You want to do SAT 2 subjects, you want to focus on those essays. So there is a practical point to consider as well. I really think anything above a 1530 and above, you're doing really well. I don't know how much more you need to show. Similarly on the ACT, 34 and above, you're a top student. Make sure you have, your other aspects of your application covered as well. Question, can you talk a little bit about stress management? Yes. So, in my experience, high scorers such as you experience more stress. I've been in your shoes, and I'm trying to think of the reasons why. Maybe I felt the stakes were very high. Maybe what it was? I just felt so frustrated that I know this and I'm getting this wrong. I know this in my school setting and I'm getting it wrong on the test. And that frustration can lead to stress. Or seeing a question where I'm like, I don't know what this is a little bit hard. Why am I not flying through this? Also stresses me out. And I'm talking to students, you guys experience the same things. So these 5 tips really meant to alleviate your stress. Knowing what's going to be on the test, that's a major confidence booster, right? Practicing your weaknesses, looking at them in the eye and conquering them, that's a major confidence booster. Knowing timing, right? So just as you get frustrated, I would see a harder question. But what if I told myself, listen, Sonali, this is a harder question. You're meant to get to harder questions, and you've allocated enough time to attempt this harder question. So calm your nerves, go through this, and use the concepts that you learned. Multiple test attempts, that should reduce your stress. If you're going to be really stressed and say, you know what, I'm just going to take it once and I'm going to take it in November because I really, really want to learn till then. And then November is your only test attempt because, by the time your scores come back, there's not a lot of time to take it again. You've just put a lot of stress on yourself. November, anything could happen in November, all right? So having multiple test attempts, doing it through your junior year. If you're in 10th grade and you're attending the session, means you're already scoring high. Start taking the test in 10th grade. There's no limit on how many times you can take it, just a practical limit. So, and then the reading section stresses you guys out because you're not scoring well in your practice tests on that. So if you do deliberate practice for reading section, again, reduce that stress. So these 5 points were really meant to reduce your stress, excuse me. And it is counterintuitive, and it puzzles counselors and parents when their very high scoring students or good students are not scoring well in this test. It really puzzles them. But it's because you're stressed, and these things can eliminate it. Question: if I'm running out of time on the test, can I answer more questions quickly and correctly? All right, that is a bad strategy. If you're running out of time on the test, means you reached the harder level questions and now you're attempting them quickly. So let me say that's a bad strategy if you're attending this session and telling me you're trying to get a perfect score. If you're attending this session and telling me, listen, I'm going 1300, 1400, it's not a terrible strategy, because I want you to focus on the easy, medium questions and get them right. All right. No, every question you get right is like an extra 10 points. So get those questions right instead of wasting time on the hard questions, and do educated guesses. But if you're in this session because you're trying to get a perfect score, and then you're asking me, should I move fast through the last few questions? That doesn't make any sense. You're going to get them wrong. They're harder. You should have left 90 seconds for those questions. So I really want you to practice the way I showed you deliberately. These are easy level questions. I'm practicing them because I want to see how fast I'm moving through them. These are medium level questions. I'm practicing them because I'm going through medium speed and accuracy. These are hard level questions. I'm practicing them, and I have saved time for it. I'm not stressing out about that. Question: does TestRocker have anything for the SAT essay? Absolutely. And I just want to make a note on SAT essay, guys. The SAT essay and the ACT essay are optional. You see this everywhere. I don't want you to think of it as optional. I want you to take it and score well on it, all right? Because if there's even one university, for example, Columbia University, I believe, requires you to take the essay. If there's one university that requires you to take the essay, I don't want you to go and sit and take the test again just because of the essay section, right? You're already in that environment. You're already up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. It sucks. Just take the essay section as well. So how do we help with the essay section? Just like everything else, first we teach you the concept of what are they asking you in the essay question, what are the different kind of prompts you can see, and what kind of answers, structures, examples, etc. they like to see when they give you a high score in their algorithm. And once we show you that, we let you practice. So TestRocker students can do 2 essays on our full-length test and submit them to us, and we return them in 48 hours or 2 business days to you, not only with the grid-in of what you scored, but handwritten feedback by passage on how you could improve your passage, on how you could have improved your writing. This is very valuable. You're getting, tips on grammar, you're getting tips on sentence structure, you're getting tips on how you could have further strengthened your argument, and you're getting tips on just better writing, which will also help you later with your essay writing, right? So this is included in it, and you should take advantage of it. So it's 2 hand-graded essays. There are more practice questions and in the essay section that you can do, but 2 of them will hand grade for you. Do you know what a decent score for SAT 2 subjects is? For me, like, you should be trying to get a 700 or above if you want to show that you know that topic really well. So my tip on SAT 2 subjects is take it right after you've completed that material in school. So if you're in an AP level, say you're in an AP level math class, as soon as you finish that math class and taken your AP for that, try to sit and take the SAT 2 for math right after. So if you took the AP math exam in May, try to sit for SAT 2 math subject in June if it's offered. I don't know if it's offered right off the top of my head, but you get the idea. Preparing for the AP or just your school exams is enough to do well on SAT 2. SAT 2 questions are a lot more direct, and I find them very closely related to the material that you're studying as a junior at school. So pick the subjects wisely, pick ones that you are strong at, that you have a higher level class in, and take that SAT2 subject as soon as you're, close to taking the final test in school for that, or, you've completed the material. So you want to see a 7 in front of it for a great score. I think, even 650, something in the 600s is good, but, you want to try to see that 7 in front of the SAT2 subjects. And SAT2 subjects, please just take them once. You don't have enough test attempts, and there's no super scoring on that. You'll be less nervous. It looks very much more like school material. So just try to take it once. All right, I want to be aware of the time over here. If you have more questions about how to get a perfect score, again, like you could be questions very specific to you, please do email us at contactus@testrocker.com. We guarantee a response. Also, please go to the www.testrocker.com for a free trial and the free diagnostic test. Take the free diagnostic when you have a little bit more than an hour, a pencil, a paper, a calculator with you. To take the test so that you get, a real sense of where you stand. And every time you go to TestRocker, there's a little chat box at the bottom right. If you don't feel like, asking a question today because you're shy, please go in there and chat us a question. We're normally always on. But I hope you enjoyed the 5 tips that you received from helping over 10,000 students. It's really advice we give them and things that we've learned from them. So I hope this was a good use of your time, and I look forward to seeing all of you on our free offerings, or even better, become a TestRocker student so that we can help you get that perfect score. Thanks, everyone.